Hey everyone, this is Dylan, and today I'm going to be doing my Letterboxd Wrapped for the year of 2021. This year during Black Friday, Letterboxd was doing a sale on their Pro tier membership level, and one of the features of that was a stats option. So I thought I'd go through my stats for the year 2021. So this year I watched 295 movies. That is a little bit augmented, I would say, because I do include short films in that, so that number, it might seem a little high, but it's because of the short films. And I did 103 reviews, so that's pretty cool. I did 14 lists, which makes tracks. I had, of the 295 movies that I watched, I liked 135 of them. No comments. I don't really comment on other people's reviews or anything like that. The real interesting thing is 380.7 hours. The last time I checked, that was like 14 or 15 days of the year. So that's pretty crazy. And then we have my top films of 2021, which you will see my list of all of those in another video, and I will put a little iCard up to it in this video. And then the week. Films by week. So I averaged 24.6 films a month, and my average for a week was almost 6 at 5.7, so that's pretty crazy. I did watch a lot in January. I believe some of those are from watching short films, and then the end of the month I tried to fit in as many things from 2021 that I had not already seen, so I could figure out what my top 10 and worst were for the year. Then it looks like Saturday was the day that I watched the most movies on, and Wednesday was the day that I watched the least movies on. The first movie I watched in 2021 was Love, Death, Robots, the first episode, which was 3 Robots, and that was on January 2nd, and then the last film I watched was on December 31st, and it was Summer of '85. And then I only watched one movie twice this year, and that was Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. So then we have my featured list, which is my 2021 watched list. No surprise here that my highest genre was horror, and then comedy is second, but I think that's kind of interesting. But I guess I watched a lot of comedies, I guess. And then, also no surprise, the United States is my highest, and English also is my highest, which makes plenty of sense. For the most part, I watched older releases this year. Probably only about a third of what I watched was stuff that was released this year. And most of it was first-time watches. I only probably had about a third rewatches, so that's also pretty interesting. And then most of them I didn't review. But I do have a nice little normal distribution on my rating scale. I tend to rate the movies a little bit higher than most people. I think like my 2.5 is usually like my 3, so keep that in mind when you look at my ratings on Letterboxd. I added a bunch of stuff to my watch list. I was really against it at first, and I was only wanting to log the stuff that I watched right then and there. But then I got thinking about it, and I was like, you know what, I'll just start marking all of these things as I've watched them if I know for sure that I've watched them. So that's what I ended up doing. And then we get to the people who starred in the movies that I watched the most. And we have Michael Fassbender. That is due to watching a whole bunch of Alien short films. Then we have Matthew Lillard, who was actually in a lot of the stuff that I watched. So he's technically like the highest person on this list. We have Keanu Reeves, and Lev Schreiber, Damian Bashir, Kevin Smith, Sigourney Weaver, Jeff Bennett, Ron Perlman, and Lambert Wilson round out the top of all the stars. And then we have directors. So my most watched director was Lana Wachowski, which makes sense because I just watched every single Matrix movie. And then we also have Kevin Smith, Scott Beck, Luke Scott, Patrick Bryce, Lee Janik, Wes Craven, of course, Lily Wachowski, Zack Snyder, and David Cronenberg. And then I'm not going to go through these too much, but my most watched producer was Jason Blum, which isn't really that much of a surprise. And then we also have writers. My most watched writer was Kevin Smith, Joss Whedon, and Lana Wachowski. And then, let's see, is there anything else? Universal Studios was what I watched the most movies of. And then Warner Brothers is the second one, which makes a lot of sense because I did watch almost every single movie that Warner Brothers put up on HBO Max for their day and date releases. My most liked review was my review of Freaky. It only got 4 likes, but that's good for me. The highest average movie that I watched overall on all of Letterboxd was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and then the lowest average was The Resort, which, spoiler alert, is on my worst of 2021 list. Most popular was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and then most obscure is a short film called Our Time. That was just on this release that I got from Vinegar Syndrome's partner label, Altered Innocence, and we have that. So then we have every single thing that I watched this year. I'm not going to go through all of these, but there are a couple things that I want to look at the end of this list. Basically, this world map will show where all the things that I watched. I believe this is where they were filmed, so not really that big of a surprise that we have the United States and Canada, and then a lot of places in Europe. We have some South Africa there, China, Australia, and New Zealand, as well as maybe Indonesia. Yeah, Indonesia. So that's all really cool, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think about my Letterboxd Wrapped. Let me know what your Letterboxd Wrapped looks like if you are a pro or Patreon member. So thank you guys for watching, and remember, if you're not already subscribed and you'd like to be, please hit that subscribe button down below and give this video a like if you liked it. Thank you guys for watching, and have a great day. Bye.